Well, hello. This is going to be just a really short video about what you can do to help with your pancreatitis diet and so forth. So there's actually two things I wanted to talk about, and that is that your pancreatitis diet, a diet that you put yourself on, that is proper for chronic pancreatitis, acute pancreatitis, whatever. Actually, you shouldn't be eating if you've got acute pancreatitis. But after you come out of acute pancreatitis, you need to be careful of what you eat so that you don't end up with acute pancreatitis again and back in the hospital. But anyway, this is basically probably more for chronic pancreatitis than it is acute. But your diet is super, super important, because you can either eat a normal American diet that, most doctors think, as soon as you can get out of the hospital and stuff, you can go right back on. Or you can start eating an anti-inflammatory diet that's low in fat and full of fruits and vegetables that contain phytonutrients, polyphenols and phytonutrients and stuff that will actually help reduce the inflammation and keep it at bay, instead of adding more inflammation to it by causing problems because you're eating food that you shouldn't eat. And one of the most important things you can do, because sometimes, people are a little different. I don't think they're as different as everybody thinks they are, because your pancreas and my pancreas are basically the same. Until we have pancreatitis and it gets damaged. Okay, the damage is where the difference is. So, I am a true believer that the two biggest enemies are alcohol and fat. But depending on how bad the damage is, there are people I know that swear that they can't eat raw vegetables, for example, or that an apple with skin on it harms them, where an apple without doesn't, or whatever. So I'm thinking that this may be possibly true when there's a ton of damage, okay? Because the damage is what actually, says what hurts and what doesn't hurt, what makes you sick and what doesn't make you sick. So I found I can eat raw vegetables, I can eat cooked vegetables, I can eat vegetables with skin on them, and fruits with skin on them, and fruits without skin, or whatever. It doesn't make any difference to me. So I guess I'm lucky that way. But fat, too much fat, literally, can make me sicker than a dog. And certain kinds of fat are even worse than others. For example, pork is my nemesis. That'll make me sicker faster than anything on the face of the earth. As much as I love bacon, that stuff would kill me in a heartbeat. So, people have a little bit of difference, but I still believe that the two biggest problems are alcohol and fat. So, if you're still drinking alcohol with pancreatitis, you need to quit, man. That's just not cool. You're just asking for problems. But anyway, let's get back to the diet itself, because alcohol is out. I don't even usually talk about alcohol, because anybody that drinks alcohol, okay, especially if they have chronic pancreatitis, that's just crazy. That's just crazy. So, to me, there's no reason to even address that. But what I really want to talk about is creating your own pancreatic diet, because, I can say, you just leave out, all the high fats and stuff like that, because that works for me, okay? Now, I'm a celiac, so I have, to leave out a whole lot of stuff, okay? Because I'm one of those celiacs where just wheat, corn, and rye, wheat, barley, and rye, that helped, but it didn't take care of the problem. I had to literally get rid of all grains, including pseudo grains like buckwheat and stuff and quinoa, okay, because those just didn't work. Okay, so, but if you're not a celiac, you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so anyway, let's get back to what I call creating a pancreatitis diet diary. Okay, and I've written an article about this, and I'm going to put this video on that post. And so, most of the information will be on the article. So all you have to do basically is follow the article. But what's cool about doing it, the way I explain how to do it, if you do it properly, then you find out, okay, if it's just fats that cause your problems and what fats cause your problems, what foods. Maybe spices will bother you. Spices don't do a thing to me. Maybe you'll find out that raw vegetables don't work for you. Maybe you'll find out that apples with the skin on them don't work, but apples without skin does work. And so when you do a pancreatitis diet in the proper manner, you find out all this stuff, and you actually end up creating your own personal diet for your pancreas. And I mean, you can't get any more specific than that. I mean, this is creating your own diet so that you can heal your pancreas. Okay, and so I really recommend you do that. And so until the next time we visit, I hope you have a happy, healthy day, pain-free, and God bless you.